What's up, guys? I'm Austin.
And I'm Aaron, and today we are talking about relationships. We're both going through it. He's in a long-term one, and I am still struggling to find the right one.
So today we're gonna share stories on like how we met our first boyfriends, which I'm still dating my first boyfriend. Aaron is not, but we met them the exact same way.
Which is different than I feel like a lot of people will expect. But before we get started, FYI, this video is sponsored by Go90 for the promotion of their show, Relationship Status. So we will talk about that in a little bit, but first let's jump into this story.
Yes.
And let's talk about how we met our first boyfriends.
Yeah.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, let's do it. Alright, so how all of this happened was we were like 18. It was like 8 months before we moved to LA, but I had no idea that I was gonna even move to LA.
Yeah.
So there was this website that it was sort of similar to Chat Roulette.
Yeah,
in the sense of like
Chat Roulette though.
Exactly, so weird. But you would just sit down in front of it and like have your video screen, like somebody else's video from across wherever they are, and then yourself, and then you just scroll through people. And if you see someone you like, you talk to them and type.
But wait, I need to do like a side note though, because Austin and I are from, which a lot of you guys know, but if you're just like a random person that clicked on this video, Austin and I are from like a really small town in Ohio, so like we had no exposure to gay people.
So I was on that website and just scrolling through people, I stopped on this guy, and I thought he was so handsome, and he stopped on me too.
I can't believe you're sharing this story.
What? No, I'm just being honest. So anyway, turns out it was Justin, who is my boyfriend now, but at that time we didn't know each other.
You're like outing your...
No, he has no idea I'm even talking about this, but it's perfect. He was just like, can I get your number? Here's my number. And then we started texting. We got off the website, and we just texted a little bit that night. And then it kind of just fell off. Came to LA first week. I was on Tinder and I saw his profile and I'm like, oh my god, that guy. And texted him and we went on our first date.
So basically Austin's was like fate, pretty much.
Yeah.
So now for my side of the story here, it actually started a lot like Austin's. My ass was like out there trying to get it when I was like 16, trying to find a boyfriend because I was always obsessed with being in a relationship. I was a weirdo. I was on this site, the same exact one that Austin was on. It was just weird. Twins. We're twins.
Just twins.
And so I was on this site and I met this guy on there in the same way that Austin did, and him and I just started chatting, but he was my age and we were just like, we bonded a lot over the fact that we were both going through that like coming out process, and it eventually grew into a relationship. At the time, I didn't have like an Instagram, I didn't have a Snapchat, I didn't have like Twitter, I didn't have anything.
Before any of that
I didn't have anything.
Stuff.
It's pretty crazy that we both met
the same
our
way.
boyfriends in the same way, but they both have very different endings. Like I said, I didn't have social media when I started, but when social media like became a thing and I got it, and then my ex, my first boyfriend, got like really into it. He had like 40,000 followers and he thought he was like the coolest person in the world.
He was like one of those big ones back in the day.
When it first started. Like aesthetic, everything. He was very like Tumblr, blah, blah, blah. And social media literally ruined our relationship. Like trust, all of that thing, distance, it just like killed it. He was doing something.
It got difficult. It would have been different, I feel like, if you guys did live closer. Like if you would have been like...
While we are on the topic of like truth and honesty in relationships and how social media like affects all of that, we are going to talk for a second about Relationship Status, which is a show on Go90. Which if you guys don't know what Go90 is, it's this like app and website that you can go onto, and they have a bunch of different shows that you can stream. Go90 is on season 3 of Relationship Status, which until like 2 weeks ago I didn't know about, and I literally binge watched it in like one night because the episodes are literally like 10 minutes long. And I swear to you, like there's so many moments in the show that like touch on literally every, you can like find yourself or find somebody you know that relate to like so many storylines in the cast, and it's like diverse, and they talk about like sexuality and LGBT thing, trust and honesty, like we said. Like there's just so many elements of the show that like is so real in like life today. Shout out to Alexa Losey,
who's in it, and she does a good job. Excuse me. Anyway, though, Aaron's already finished the show because he's just like quick and on it, and I still need to like binge watch the end of it. But you guys should too, and you guys can just click on the link below and stream it on Go90.
So before I end this video, I really want to explain like how my relationship ended, because It is juicy.
How did it end?
It's juicy. So basically what happened and how like my relationship ended, he kind of, I feel like in some ways he got, and this is just my side of the story, I feel like he just got so wrapped up in that whole social media world when it first started, and it was very much different than what it is
back then too. It was
now.
A different world.
And so at the time he was like a big fish in a small pond, and everybody would like come after him, and he would get all these like messages from guys all the time. And when you're 18 and you're horny and you want some, you're gonna go for it. So I can't blame him per se. Like looking back at it now at 22, like I get it.
It was still his
but like
mistakes,
it was still a lot to go through when you're 18, 19 years old. He was at my house, and it was the first time he came to Ohio to visit me, and he was acting all like very weird about his phone, and I would see like different messages that I didn't know the person's name or whatever. And I remember at one point he was sitting at the dining room table. I was like, I'm gonna go take a shower, my little shady ass. And so I was like, I'm gonna go take a shower. And so I literally left because there was a window right behind him.
And the window was on ground level too.
Yeah. So I left the dining room and I went to the bathroom and acted like I was closing the door. And I went outside all the way around to like where the window was behind him, and I watched through the window like a crazy person. And I watched him literally go on his messages on Facebook and like look at different guys that he had been talking to and delete them because he knew that I was like onto something. And girl, that just like set me off. It was a whole thing. From then on, like the trust was completely gone. I ended up finding photos on his phone of like new,
how did you find the photos? Did you ask for his phone?
Yes, and it was just like everything I found was just like
the worst thing you could ever imagine, probably.
Yeah,
in a relationship, you don't want to see that.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. So that is it. Make sure you guys go check out Go 90's Relationship Status and finish binge watching it with Austin. I'm over here waiting for another season because I'm already done with it. But it's a really good show, honestly, and you guys should check it out. Anyway, so make sure you guys like this video and subscribe.
Yes.
And we will see you guys very soon.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.